Hello, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I have used Clay to generate over 850 B2B sales meetings and over 10 million euros in sales opportunities for our sales and our clients. And we will use Clay to automate our outbound workflow in 4 different steps. And the first step is to find the companies you want to target. Then we will find the decision makers on those companies and their contact information. And then we will do all sorts of enrichments, such as finding buying signals we can use to mention in our copy and make it better. And then we will push that data into external tools such as SmartLead, HeyReach, or your CRM. And this means that you will escape spreadsheet hell. You don't need to go between tabs and tools and lose your focus. You can do everything in one single tool. So if you are ready, let's go. Okay, so here we are inside Clay, and this is like the starting point. And by the way, if you want our 27 buying signals and tools to track them that you can use alongside Clay to make your campaigns better, feel free to check the LinkedIn in the description. But yeah, here's like multiple choices you can start your tables with. So you can find people immediately, you can find companies first, you can also find jobs. So if a company is hiring for a specific role, or if you are looking for a job, that's like what you can do here. You can also find local businesses. So most of the data tools out there can find local businesses so good. So here you can like select whatever location you want. This is in New York by default. You can increase the radius here. You can select like the business type you want to find. So for example, if you want to check museums for some reason, you can do that, and you can like find the target results. So if you want 1,000 museums, if there are 1,000 museums in this area, you can do that, and then continue and add it to a new table or an existing one. And then you can of course use and work with your existing list. So if you have an existing CSV file in Google Sheets or Excel, you can import it here and enrich and use Clay's amazing tools to like make the list better. Then there's also templates you can use. So you can, for example, find recently hired decision makers. So if you're offering something, you can like approach these people and say, hey, congrats on your new role. Have you thought of making changes in your sales process if that's what you sell? And this way you can like make your messaging extremely relevant. You can also enrich your inbound leads so they're all qualified and leave out the non-qualified ones. You can also look for like companies that has a specific keyword on their website. You can also like check what kind of technology the companies are using, and yeah, there's many more things you can do. But we will start from the company search, so find companies here. And this looks pretty much like most of the data tools out there, so you can like put your filters here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna check media production companies specifically. That's good. And you can also select like multiple at a time. You can also exclude industries if you don't want, for example, advertising companies or marketing companies like this, but you want all media companies, so this excludes like the not so relevant ones. Then you can select company sizes. So we're gonna go, for example, 11 to 200. You can select multiple of these. You can also select like company types. So if you want to target non-profits or educational like institutes, you can do that here. You can select multiple of them. You can also include description keywords found from the website. So this is pretty interesting. So if you want to make sure that these media companies had like, or probably does podcasts as a service, we can do that. So podcast, podcast production, like that. And then you can also exclude description keywords, which is super powerful as well. So if I would like want to target marketing and advertising services companies, I would myself want to exclude like my competitors such as outbound or lead generation agencies. So we could do that here like that. Then you can also find companies based on the LinkedIn company follower count. Then you can of course select your location. So let's go United States just to make sure that there's enough data for this demo. You can also select multiple of the countries. You can go like maybe New York or New Jersey if you want like narrow your search, and you can of course exclude companies and or sorry, countries and areas. And you can also use the lookalike function here. So if you have a case study that has gone particularly well, you can add the domain name here, and Clay will then find companies similar to that company. So you can, for example, reference your case study in the copy or like the industry to make it more specific. And here you can limit the results we will find from this search. So we don't want 25k records at this point. We want maybe 200 for these demo purposes. So let's check what we will find. Okay, boom, we got 263 results, and here's a preview of 50 of them. You can like check them. You can check every information here, and if that looks good, we will import, and it will only import the 200 we selected here. So import to a new table here, and now you can like select all kind of this stuff, but we can do this later, so we will continue for free. Okay, boom, the results are in, and here we have all of the companies we got from the search results. For example, we have a Valuetainment here, which is quite nice, Patrick Bet-David's company, so we can contact them as well. And what's even more crazy with Clay is that if you're a bit more advanced, you can run this schedule. And this means that when Clay finds companies based on these criteria we added, it will automatically add them to this table. And if you have selected and made this table in a way that we have already found the people and email addresses and pushed this to a Smart Lead live campaign, the workflow will automatically go and the like messages will be sent from Smart Lead automatically. So that is pretty crazy, but at this point we will keep things simple. Okay, now we have these companies, this information, so we need to find the decision makers in these companies. So you can do it from here, from here, from here. So let's find people at these companies here. And again, we are prompted to this search, which is now the people search, so we can do our search. Company attributes, we don't need to do this because we have these companies already made with these filters, but we will need to do this job title. So let's go maybe sales, marketing, like that. We want to target those for now. Levels, so the like seniority level, owner, partner, C-suite, VP, director, head. That's probably it for now. You can also include job titles as I would normally do. You can add like CEO, founder, president, head of sales, sales director, whatever you want. And you can also exclude job titles, which is nice. So junior, analyst, product owner. And you can also like do exact keyword match. So if you want to find like head of sales, it will only find head of sales, not like the adjacent and synonym titles. But I want to leave this off. Then there's all kind of like data you can search for, experience from the LinkedIn profile. And also we did already add the company location as United States. But if you want to ensure that these people are in the US as well, and not, for example, in some other location, that's fine, but we can leave this off for now. And you can also find other kind of stuff here in the profile, certifications, language, education, but we will skip that for now. And then we will limit the results here, for example, to 200 again. You can also limit per company. So if you don't want like 20 people from a massive company based on like these job roles, you can definitely do that. So let's go 5 here. Okay, and now we got some problems here. So Microsoft, Salesforce, this is not like the companies we selected. So what went wrong? Actually, we didn't select the company table we want to find the people from. So we will select that here. Usually that is like pre-selected preview people. Okay, now we got these results, and yes, this looks correct. We have the companies we had like selected, for example, Valuetainment here. So we will import these people to a new table right here, existing table, a new blank table, and we can also find the company stuff or people stuff here, but we will do that in our own way later, so let's skip it for now. Okay, amazing. Now we have the peoples here on this new table. So this is the company table we started with, and then we did the find people search, and it was pushed to a new table, which is good. It's good to like separate them. And here is also the company information in the people table as well. So if you click this, you can see the company information, and you can like add the columns from this company table to this table as well. So add as a column here, create a column, and here is like the company name, but yeah, we can add it actually because it didn't be here or was here. Let's check company name. Great. Now we have these people here, but we need the actual email addresses, so let's do that next. We'll go here, add an enrichment, work email, waterfall. So what is a waterfall? Waterfall is a, well, this is a waterfall. It will check first this, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this, this. So we are not limited into one single data source, and this is extremely, extremely powerful because usually one data source can find a small fraction of the email addresses, but now we will find the email with all of these. And I will also want to add my ICPs account here, so you can connect your own API keys here. So you can, if you have like an ICP subscription or under any of these, you can add your API key and it will use that subscription's credits, which is much cheaper than using like the Clay credits here. And now let's check that all the info is correct. So yes, looks good. And also here we can validate the email addresses with an external tool right now. I use Million Verifier and it isn't here like natively. So I have used an HTTP connection. So I will do that later. I'll remove, so these emails won't be like verified yet. Then you can just save and run these columns. And then what's happened, the waterfall will be populated here, as you can see, and find email will do its thing right now. And then it will go. So let's wait for the results and check what we will find. Okay, great. Now the waterfall is done and let's check the results. So ICPs did find most of them, which is good. Here, as you can see, the first one has found something. Even like the sixth provider has found an email. But yeah, the first 2, 3 got most of the email. So as you can see, it's super important to use this waterfall to get like the most amount of emails you can. So now we have this master email column and we need to verify those emails. So we can add an enrichment. We can go to templates and we can go to your template. So here are like my own templates I have made for specific like purposes. But yeah, I have an API key with Million Verifier, so we will use this to like verify the email addresses. We can just go and save. And then Million Verifier will start running. Okay, and what we want to do now is to only include the emails that are actually valid and verified. So we can do a custom formula here, and we can write only add, then the Million Verifier column here we can select the email. So only add the email from the Million Verifier column if, let's check Million Verifier column here, the quality here is good, and generate formula. And here you can see a preview here, good, it will add and output the email. And this is now the verified email column. And as you can see here, this email was not added here. Why? Because the quality here by Million Verifier is risky. So you can do all sorts of like custom formulas here to like manipulate the data and get what you want. And you can also use the filters here in Clay. So let's check. We want to go verified email is not empty. And now the further like enrichment we do, it won't like use Clay credits and stuff like that to the rows that do not have the email. Okay, great. Now we have actually completed the first 2 things. So find companies. Here we have these companies, and now we have these people in these companies and their verified email addresses just used with the waterfall. So that is amazing, only in one tool. But now we could technically send this from here straight to SmartLead or CRM or HeyReach or whatever you like sequencer you use, or we could export this search to our own CSV file, add it to Google Sheet, and do whatever we want with it. But now we want to actually go to the real powerful stuff, why Clay is actually so powerful. So we can use AI or ClayGent to go to each of these company domains here and get information from there as we instruct in the prompt. So let's do that next. Add enrichment, templates. So here is also, by the way, public templates made for the Clay community and Clay that you can use for free. But here I have created a template of my own for this specific purpose. So we will get the company description from the domain name. So visit the company website provided here. So this is like the column with the domain here, and extract the description of the company based on the information you can find. And then it will condense it to me. So let's run that next. And what is now happening is that ClayGent is going to this company domain and getting the information there to this specific row. Okay, amazing. Now the results are in, so let's check. Yellow Flag Productions is a marketing communication agency focused on Michigan high school sports and higher education. Okay, that is pretty sweet. We can get this information automatically just with a few clicks. What we can do now is to actually use this information, this like raw information. So add enrichment, template, my own templates here. So we will do company service summary. So response here, we need to select the response from the previous enrichment, which is this. And here's a long prompt. Let's check what has happened here. So Clayagent got this long information, and now this AI here has condensed what this actually does into this half a sentence in like 3 words. So honest storytelling podcast. So now we can actually use this specific thing here in our copy, and this way we can make our messages unique to all of these people here. Okay, great. Now with quite low effort we have something relevant to mention about each of these people, about each of these companies. And I will maybe do an advanced Clay tutorial later, because you can go much higher level, like automate this entire workflow and find like other buying signals and stuff like that. But let's keep things simple now. So right now we can send this to wherever you want: CRM, HeyReach, Smart Lead. So let's send this to a Smart Lead campaign next. So add lead to campaign, and I have actually pre-selected a Smart Lead campaign here that I made, like this Clay tutorial demo campaign. And now we'll also select the email address. So it actually isn't this work email address because we verified it. So it is this one, verified email. And yeah, as you can see, here's so much to do in Clay, as you can see. So you need to be very mindful of the things, because even one thing you mess around here in one like column can like mess up all of your workflow. So be mindful about that. And then we also want to push this information. So we want to use the first name in our emails. We'll do that. We don't need the last name here. Then we also want to do custom fields. So create a custom field, which is main service benefit. And then we will select that main service benefit here, response here. So this is the main service benefit we want to reference in the copy itself. And yeah, here is also the only run if formula, which is extremely powerful. So we can do is only run if verified email here. Where is this? Here, verified email is not empty or has a result. And then if you have an automated like scheduled workflow and you will add like another rows here, this won't run if this does not has any result, which is pretty good. Now Smart Lead will actually start adding these people to the Smart Lead campaigns, which is quite crazy. You can do everything here with one take. And let's jump on Smart Lead next and see what the copy can look like. Okay, and as you can see, we have this Clay tutorial campaign in Smart Lead, and we have all of these people. So the 57 that was in the Clay table has now been pushed into this lead list here inside the Smart Lead campaign. Now we can go edit this campaign, and as you can hear, API has added these people one by one here. So let's check what the copy looks like. So here I pre-made this copy. And by the way, if you like this tutorial and would like to see another tutorials on like cold email, client acquisition, outbound, LinkedIn, you can comment below and let me know what you want to see next, and I will make a video for you. And also subscribe if you want. But anyways, here is the copy. So in the brackets here, we have our variables. So good morning or good day, afternoon, first name. So this is the first name from the Clay table. And also here is like the main service benefit. And the other is like normal copy. And have a great Friday, for example. Here we can preview. So good afternoon, Arthur. How are you finding companies looking for, and then the main service benefit, which is engaging content for athletes right now. Imagine if you are Arthur here and you are enjoying your afternoon coffee and somebody sends you this message. How are you finding companies looking for your exact service? Pretty personal and relevant, right? Have a great Sunday. You can do this inside Smart Lead, which is quite nice. And yeah, after that, just set up everything. You can final review, preview this campaign, send a test email to your own email, and launch the campaign. So yeah, that was the Clay tutorial for outbound specifically, and we only scratched the surface. You can do so much more inside Clay. So if you want to try Clay out, you can get 3,000 free credits from the description. And also if you want the 27 buying signals and tool extraction, so you can use and take your Clay to the next level. I hope you enjoyed this and check this video next because it's a good one.